Neil, welcome to my channel. I'm going to start a new series, if you like, when I'm working on just the interior. It's going to be a T4 Caravelle to a camper on a budget. I've got my ply floor. I can't remember if it's marine grade ply or not, so I'm going to paint some stain on it and make sure it's kind of waterproof just in case. Using there, this is an old tin that I've had lying about in my house. I used it for painting my doors in my house. As you can see, it's kind of a blacky colour, it's ebony, so it'll go in with the van. First of 2 or 3 coats, a second coat. Right, as you can see, the dashboard is missing, so that is one of the first jobs I'm going to do, is I'm going to replace the dashboard. Here is the dashboard that was in the van, very dirty. Someone at some point has decided to burn this bit with a fag lighter, but I think maybe it will sand that out if I'm careful. The first job is to pressure wash it, I think. Going to have to replace this bit, which is just a trim piece, so that's not so bad, that's replaceable. But this bit is part of the frame, so I'm going to have to do something with that. Right, I gave the dash a once over with the pressure washer and I used some of this stuff on it. Don't use that because it's absolutely pants, it doesn't do anything. As you can see, it's still full of stains and that. I think I'll just use some good old fashioned fairy liquid next. Right, fairy liquid is still not shifting these stains, so I'm going to have to go on to something else. Right, a T4 dashboard will just fit in a bath.
Hi, Barry Scott here, asking whether you have problems with limescale, rust, ground in dirt. They're a challenge for some household cleaners, but not for Sell It Bang. Sell it back, sell it back, sell it back, sell it back, sell it back. Incredible. Sell it back, 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 sell it back.
Much as clean as I could get it. Dash after being cleaned up. It's not perfect, but I have managed to get rid of those stains that were in it. The household cleaners that I've used, I've taken quite a bit of colour out of it, but I do plan to dye it anyway, so I'm not really too concerned about that. Right, I have a few bits like this. This is a burn that someone's put in it, but I've got a few scrapes and scratches all round it. So I'm going to get a bit 1200 sandpaper. In fact, I think this is 600 wet and dry, and just give it a light sanding on those areas. That's about after about half an hour of sanding. I don't know if that's any better or not. I'm going to remove this black internal frame from the outside frame next. Looks like it's just 4 screws in the corners. Smashed my head off of this. I feel I've been a wee bit overzealous with the sander on that. So I've got some of this stuff, which is a modelling body putty. So I'm going to give a go, try to work that into the gap. Taking a little bit and the little spreader you get with it, and I've just applied a little amount, which I'm just going to let go tacky and then scrape off. Right, that's set quite hard now. What I'm going to do is pick some of the detail back out with a scalpel. And there we are after that. Picked some of the detail back out. Just so you see how it dries, how it looks with the dye on it. I'm going to cut some battens for the plywood to sit on. As you could see, that is about a 9mm batten to get it to flush. The insulation I plan to put down is 7mm, so I need a minimum of 17mm. I just so happen to find some wood that is 20mm, so I'm going to rip that down. I have found some scrap wood lying around at 20mm. That gives me about 3mm extra to play with. I'm just going to rip some of that up on the table saw now. Excuse the noise just now, we're leaving the van running. This is the only bit I may see being visible when the plywood is down, a bit around the step. So it's the bit that needs to be kind of fitted. It's the only bit that needs to be kind of fitted. The rest can be laid out quite blocky. It doesn't need to be cut to the miters or joins or anything like that. The only bit that needs to happen is here, so I'll show you how I've went about doing that. There is the curvature of the step. This is the piece of wood that we'll be removing. And I'm just doing this with a coping saw for the curved bits and a wood saw for the straight bits. Right, there is the outside done. Going to put some more up here, same at the other side, some more going across. That's it for today. Ev has some old bed slats that are going to work in perfect height for going across the way. Right, I think that's the layout for the floor. Battens pretty much there. If you notice, put a bit in as well for a table leg if I ever decide to do that. At least there's wood in there for that. Right, the plastic die came yesterday. It's only a 75mm tube, but people I've spoken to assure me that you'll get like loads out of it. A easy 2 coats on the dash, easily out of that. I've left it out in the sun to warm up. I've left the dash out in the sun to warm up, so I'm just going to let that heat up for a bit and then I'm going to start applying it. It did say in the instructions you get a little sponge with it. You get a little, just a scouring sponge. You have to use the rough side to clean it up. We've already done that. Remove the smooth side to apply it, but it says to do it damp. But apparently it leaves streaks if you do that, so I'm just going to do it dry. There we are, after 1 coat. Personally I think it looks great. The finish on it is quite good. It will need 2 coats, it is a bit streaky. I've probably used about half the tube, so it will do 2 coats. But it's made a vast difference to it for the better, in my opinion. I'll show you it after 2 coats. Second coated. Literally just finished a few minutes ago. Right, so all in all, I think it's a good product. Certainly dyes the plastic well. My little repair job, you wouldn't see it unless you know it's there. So I'd call that a success. Do I think it's value for money? No, I think it's quite expensive. But it's saved my dash, it's given it a new lease of life. In that respect, I suppose it is quite a good value for money. It's cheaper than buying a new dashboard, so yes. But I'd certainly recommend the product, because the product itself is good. It does exactly what it says on the tin, kind of thing. I'm happy with it. Used the whole tube to do the dashboard, the two coats. I've got a little bit on the vents. I have left a little bit in the tube to get inside the vents with a paintbrush or something, because obviously you can't get in there with a sponge, it's just a pain. Video there for this week. I'm going to get the dash in next time. I've got a carpet coming for the cab, which I'm going to do something with as well, and I have something custom planned for the back as well, which I'm hoping to start next week or next episode anyway as well. So stay tuned for that.